Welcome back to my channel. My name is Kayla and I am the owner of I Can Make That But, which is my small business where I sell crocheted plushies and other small crocheted things, and I'm so glad you're here. In today's vlog, we are kind of going through some prep for I have a market a week from tomorrow. And it's gonna be my first one in April, and I have two in April, so we're trying to kind of double prep so that we are prepared for the month ahead. But if that sounds interesting to you, definitely grab your own crocheted project or other hobby project and let's jump in. So I don't know if you'll be able to tell from my voice, but I've actually been kind of sick this week. Today's actually Friday and it's my birthday, but also I took the day off because I've been struggling with this cold all week. So I was like, you know what? We're gonna call the week early. But because of that, I haven't been able to prep as much as I've wanted to. I also have some other projects going on that I've been commissioned to do in addition, but I'll go through kind of where we are and what I did this week. First things first, I did make a plushie. I made another black cat because I'm out of a lot of cats, but particularly I used the Bernat Mystical, the black color, to make this guy, and he's very cute. So I made one of these this week. I also started another. So that's one whip that we currently have on a hook. So there's that. I also this week went through, I have my 2 bags of inventory right here. I'm not going to get them in frame because they are very meticulously balanced on each other, but I promise I'm literally looking at them. And so I went through and updated my spreadsheet for an accurate kind of overview of my inventory, and I also during that made a list of everything I want to make over the next week, so that I can replenish and feel in a good spot for the April markets. So it's definitely, there are things on this list that will take some time. I'm hoping between today and this weekend in general, I'll be able to actually prep. So that's the hope. So I was successful in that kind of stuff. I've been meaning to go through my inventory since my last market and actually do a real update of things. And so being able to do that was helpful this week. Also, something that took up a decent amount of time and is still not done is one of my cousins is getting married in May, and he and his fiance are having a hand tying or hand fasting part of their ceremony, which is a Scottish-Irish tradition, and they need a cord in order to do it. They literally take their 2 hands and they tie the knot together during their wedding ceremony. It's cute. And so they had asked me if I would crochet them the cord, and they sent me a bunch of different inspo pictures and stuff. I'll put up some of what these look like here, but for their cord, they wanted their wedding colors in it, and because we are more on the Irish side of this tradition, I wanted to include some Celtic knots. So the main piece that will actually lay on both of their hands is they'll each have a Celtic knot over their hand. So I found how to do this from a free blog. I found a helpful Pinterest board and kind of designing this because it's kind of a hodgepodge of a bunch of different things. So I will link that board down below if you for any reason need to be making a hand fasting cord. But this definitely took some trial and error. I definitely, when I first tried it, did not listen to the very kind lady in the tutorial that said that I needed like a piece of styrofoam and straight pins. I was just trying to weave it myself, like just in the air, and it wasn't working. So it's amazing when I actually used the styrofoam and straight pins, it worked. So I have these two, and then I connected in the middle. I'm going to, with all of these kind of like wrapped around ends, I'm going to add like a braiding detail kind of over it so it doesn't look so harsh. I'm making up like the construction of this. I'm kind of making this whole thing up as I go of like the design. So we're definitely like working in like pieces here. So this is, again, the main part that's going to go over their hands, and then there's the parts that hang down. I did these. So again, they're on the Pinterest board. There was a way to properly weave this so that it's more than just like a braid. But then this also has what I keep calling like a jump rope handle. And so does this one. This, I needed two, obviously. And so again, I'm going to do some braiding, like just like regular braiding within, and kind of do like, and sew it into this to kind of wrap it around. And so then there will also be just pieces of yarn nicely like kind of falling to make it even a little bit longer. And then I'll do small connection points like here so that this goes together, and I'll try and make this like a little bit more seamless. And then the same on the other side. Ooh, there we go. So it kind of looks like this. So yeah, and then there's like a way that it ties, and they do it with their hands, and it's like a boop and a boop, and you need two people, and it also to be connected, but it's cute. It's cute. So that's in process. I would love to finish this preferably early next week, if not this weekend, because I want to get it, I'm going to soak it in the detergent that I normally use. I use like a baby detergent for cotton projects to kind of soften it. It's a little stiff right now because it is cotton. I want it to like fully dry, and so that it's easy to tie with, and I want to get that to them. They're getting married on May 10th, so I would like to get it to them at least a month ahead of time, just in case they need to practice. I don't know how this works. They are the first in our family to be doing this ceremony, so I'm curious about the whole thing. But that's kind of where we are with that. So that has definitely taken up a lot of time because it's a lot of different pieces and kind of reworking things. And then I also was asked by one of my mom's friends, her nephew is having a baby or just had a baby or close to a baby. And so she wanted a teddy bear made. So again, I went to Pinterest and found a free pattern on a blog that I will link below. I think it's the same website that I used when I got my free monster pattern. It looks very similar. So I've started that. I've been working on that more today. You crochet in, you like pre-make the legs and then the arms as well. And then you crochet them in as you make the body. And then it looks like the head is a separate piece. I'm gonna see if I can make it all one, but I also don't want to mess with it too much, so I don't mind sewing on a head if it's gonna come out cute. I'm definitely curious about the proportions. I feel like this is a very much like trust the process kind of a thing. I'm still pretty early on into this, so we still have a bunch of the body to go. Obviously the arms have to be put in too, so I think the legs will look more proportional, but I like definitely crocheted them, and I was like, did I do something wrong? But I'm using the Bernat, what is it? The Chenille Basics line. This is, I don't remember the color, but it's brown. And I'm using a 6mm hook for this. So if this comes out nicely, then maybe I will add them to my markets, at least a couple of them, because so far it's not super hard to do. Pre-making the arms and the legs really didn't take like that long, so I'm curious about like the rest of it. And then obviously, because it's for a baby, I'll embroider the eyes as opposed to using safety eyes and the nose detail as well. So I'll be 100% baby safe. I might also disinfect this one too. I purposely didn't start working on this one until I started to feel a little bit better. That's honestly why I also haven't prepped a lot of plushies this week, is because to disinfect them all is kind of a pain. Necessary, but kind of a pain. So, and also I was like at a point where I was coughing just so much that I would have probably lost my place in patterns a billion times over. So it is an inconvenient time to get sick, but at least it's not next week when we're literally like leading up to the market. So that's okay. But yes, so that's kind of what I did this week. It doesn't feel like a ton, but it is Friday, so I still have all day today. And I do have a birthday dinner, and I'll have another birthday dinner tomorrow with a different group. And then, so I have like some weekend plans because it is my birthday. I'm not gonna lie, I if you've seen a video of mine before, you probably have noticed the happy birthday banner that hangs behind me if I sit in this spot. A little behind the scenes of this house, that banner stays up all year. And it's been 3 or 4 years of that banner hanging there, and basically you get to claim it when it's around your birthday and say it's for you. And so today it's legitimately for me. Woo! But it's just kind of a running family joke of like, oh, whose birthday is it? And it's like, well, you know, mine's coming up in the next month. So it's mine. And we're just getting ahead of it. Or, oh, mine was like 2 weeks ago and I forgot to take it down. Like, so that's just, if you ever see that in the background, it's going to always be there. So regardless, I'm going to keep working on this bear and drink more water because I've been going through like 3 of these a day, which has been fun to try and continue to get better. But I will maybe film some of me working on this bear, and I will check in again in a little bit. Bye. Hello, and welcome to my car. So I decided it's around lunchtime and it's also my birthday, so I might do a little bit of shopping. Abby Jimenez's newest book came out this week, which was very kind of her for my birthday. So I might go to Barnes & Noble and just peruse that. In the Barnes & Noble Plaza in my town, there's also a Michael's and an Old Navy and a Bath & Body Works. So, and an Ulta. Oh my goodness, so many things. I do need new eyeliner. So, I don't know. Maybe we'll just wander around there a little bit. I think we're going to probably pick up food first and then head up the hill, I think. So, maybe if anything exciting happens, I'll insert some clips here. But yeah, we're going to take a break. I am about halfway through the head of the teddy bear. I finished the body as you saw, And so it's moving along. I actually kind of like it, and I think it'd be really cute in other colors too. So this might be a new thing that I have in my shop. And I do feel like teddy bears can be justified as things to buy. So I think it would be good for markets. But yeah, so we're gonna go and have a little adventure. Fun. So update, we made it to Barnes & Noble. So I ended up not getting food first because I really don't know what I want. So we're gonna go shopping first. And there's food up here too, so we'll figure something out. It will be fine. Here we go. We were successful, and also I need to really give myself a round of applause because they always have a table that's like buy one get one half off of like the like general like rom-com-y genre, and I really was looking at one of them, so I was going to try and justify getting another one because like obviously this one didn't fall under it because it's brand new, but I went back and forth and ultimately decided to not, because I am trying really hard to save money, and I wish I read more. I used to read a ton, and so once I get back up to like putting reading back into my like daily routine, I can justify it. I did also look at the catalog at my local library because I was like, well, maybe. And all the copies of, I was looking at one of the Emily Henry books, the funny story one. All the books are checked out, and there's like 60 people on the wait list. So, lol. So I didn't add myself to that, but who knows? There could be another day. I haven't opened any birthday presents yet, so who knows if a gift card for Barnes & Noble will be in one of them. So it's happened before. So I did just get the book that I came for, so I'm happy about that. And also, because of my saving money era, I might walk around Old Navy, but I think that's going to be it for the stores here, because I am trying to be very mindful of my spending. I do deserve a little treat because, you know, it is my birthday, but I just kind of want to be mindful. So I'm half and half about potentially going there. I do need to figure out what I'm going to eat though, because I do need to get lunch. But that's kind of where we are. I didn't really film inside Barnes & Noble that much because I was really quiet in there. So it felt kind of weird. But yeah, quick update. Me again, still in the same spot. Actually, I might not go shopping at Old Navy because that gift card idea could transfer to a couple of different places here, because I also was looking and I have Michael's rewards, but we might wait and we might come back up here tomorrow to shop after we may have opened some things, because spending gift card money is a much better financial decision than spending my money. So just kidding. So now we're just going to focus on lunch and then probably head back home, because I do want to finish that teddy bear. Like, I feel motivated to keep going. So let's do that. But it was good to get out of the house for a little bit. So feel sunshine, you know, all the things. All right, for real. Goodbye. He's done. I'm not mad about the embroidered eyes. I feel like they came out semi-even. I'm still working on getting better at them. And then I put in the eyebrows and the little muzzle. But he is cute. I went really, really simple because, you know, it's a newborn and I figured it was the first one. I did like doing the pattern. Honestly, the whole thing probably took me, like with sewing and everything, maybe just under 2-ish hours, I want to say. Maybe around 2 hours when all is said and done. So not terrible, not great in terms of like when you're thinking like market prepping, but for some that I could probably sell this for, I haven't actually ran any of the calculations, but like for like $25 to $30, and it would be okay. I think that's worth it. So we will lint roll and actually like finalize this guy so that he can go to my mom's friend. But I think I bought the cow pattern where they have like the fruit cows, and it's like a 12-in-1 pattern by the Stitch Studio CA off of Etsy, and I'll link that down below too. And I've kind of really wanted to try to make one, so we might do that next. I know I will not, based on what I know about making cows, I will not get through the whole cow before I have to go to dinner because it's currently like 3 o'clock. But I want to at least start it because I'm curious with this pattern in general how long everything's going to take. Because I find that with cow patterns, they generally take me longer than I anticipate. I'm usually closer to like a 3 to 4 hour mark with them, especially because there's usually sewing involved. So I'm curious. And these also, they have like specialty, because they have like the specialty like fruits, like as like their horns and stuff. And these guys also have little purses that go with them. I'm curious of how long this is going to take me. But I figure this is a good day for experimenting because it's kind of like a bonus crochet day because I would normally be at work during this time. Well, now I would be leaving work, but still, it counts. It all counts. All right, I'll check in soon. Hello, welcome to Saturday. I did not check in again last night, but I did do some more work. And then this morning finished that. So I successfully made my first fruit cow, particularly the strawberry one. Again, I'll link this pattern down below. I used, what were you? The white is Big Twist Plush, and then all the colors are the Premier Basics Chenille. And I used a 7 hook for this, so this guy, he's pretty hefty. I will say, I don't know. If you've been on this channel for a while, you'll know my saga with cows. I know they're popular. I know they're cute. But God, are they a pain to make. Because it's a lot of sewing. It's a lot of, and I've done like the no-sew kind. And they still don't come out wonderfully for me. This is fine. I ended up having to pull out the eyes because there were safety eyes in the head. And I've never once in my life, not even once, even with Omni sticks, have been successful in sewing on a head straight. So actually what's supposed to happen is this spot and the spot back here are actually supposed to be in line with the ears. And I noticed that was not happening and I couldn't fix it, which was so fun. And so I ended up saying, you know what, we're going to just make it baby safe. I will embroider the eyes. So that's what I did. And there we go. Because at that point I was getting frustrated with how long everything was taking, which was on me also, but it is cute. Here she is. But I think maybe I'll make one other type of fruit, but I'm not going to go too crazy with these, if I'm being completely honest, because there's still so much that I need to prep. So, and this took me probably all in all 3 hours, I want to say. There were a lot of like breaks of like doing other things, but probably when all is said and done, this probably took me somewhere around that 3 hour mark. So fun. Also, just really fun adding to this cold situation. Last night, this ear decided to just completely clog up. So if I'm shouting, I'm really sorry because I've tried to make it pop and it's not popping. So that's so fun. So I also feel like I'm speaking crazily. So that's great. But yeah, we're going to put that guy to the side for right now. On the docket today, it is, I don't know if I said it already, it's about noon on Saturday. So we finished that, check. So for the rest of the day, I know I have another birthday dinner that I need to attend, but that's not until 4. So we should definitely be able to do something before then. We should be able to do at least one plushie fully, if not 2. I do have a cat started. I could finish that cat. I did like this bear pattern, and it's now like really growing on me. So maybe we might make some of these in different colors, maybe. I have to look at my list also because I do have legitimate things written down. So I need to also figure out that. But basically, there's no shortage of what we could be making. It's just a matter of figuring out what we want to make. I also need to today, I'll probably do this post dinner, is I need to go through my inventory because there's an art studio in my town that is also showing off different artists like within the community and like selling their stuff. And my cousin actually works there on the weekends, and so she talked to her boss and was like, hey, would you sell my cousin's crocheted stuff there? And she's like, yeah, absolutely. So I need to make a bag so that that can go with her tomorrow to work. I need to also take note of what I'm handing over, because then I need to also take note of what I need to make in order to fulfill that for next week's market. So I'm not going to give them a ton of stuff. I don't expect it to be like a big selling type of a situation. I think some things might sell every once in a while, and that's cool, but I don't want to like over give them inventory, especially when I can use that inventory for next week's market, because we are exactly a week away from our next market. Woo! So yeah, so that's kind of where we are right now. But alas, I need to stop talking and figure out what we're doing next. And I'll check in maybe in a little bit. Here's hoping. Good morning and happy Sunday. I know I did not check in again yesterday. Things got a little bit crazy, and also there wasn't really much to film in terms of crochet. I was able to, you saw the strawberry cow. So then once I finished that, I went through my inventory and pulled items that I'm going to bring to the art studio maybe today if I get the call. So I'm giving her, I think I have 3 of the regular bees, 2 of the rainbow bees, a set of rainbow crayons, and the peeps that I had in my stash because they're seasonal. So we're starting out smaller. I think I'm giving her a little less than 20 items just because it's all kind of a trial and error thing right now. So obviously if things go faster, I'll get more to her. Because I have the market next week, I also didn't want to give too much today, but I do want to probably end up giving her smaller things too, like keychains and just the regular buddies, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. So I was able to make, after I organized all of that and I made a sign and it was cute, it was whatever, I also was able to make a crayon. I do have to weave in this end, and I will, but because I'm giving her a set of my rainbow crayons, I now need crayons for next week's market because they don't always sell. Sometimes they sell like, and I'm out of all of them. Last time I sold 1, but they always draw people in because a lot of other crochet artists don't have these. So they'll see them from afar and then they'll come and look. So we're definitely going to make a few more of these. So I have all that yarn next to me and I'm hoping to have a successful day of prepping. It's about 10 o'clock now. So I have all day. It's really gloomy outside, so I already ran a couple of errands. I might have to run another a little bit later, but for right now, we're crocheting. So I will check in a little bit. Hello, happy Friday, and happy Friday before a market. This is probably going to end up in the prep video, just because I did not film a ton of prep throughout this week, so I kind of wanted to show what I've made, and so then the market video will kind of stand alone on its own. But anywho, I think last I left you, possibly, I know I was crocheting, but I was also getting stuff together to take to an art studio in my town where they're going to be selling a few of my items on consignment. So I didn't take a single photo. If I get one before editing this video, I will put it somewhere on the screen. But I wasn't even thinking, because it was a very chaotic kind of situation in general. But so far there, it's been about a week, a little less. I haven't heard if anything's sold. I also don't know. I know she'll contact me like the 10th of every month to let me know, but my cousin also works there, so I'm curious if I see her this weekend, if she sees if anything's sold. But I gave all 6 of the crayons that I had, so it was like a rainbow set. I gave all the peeps that I had, so there were 2 big, 4 small, I want to say, and then I gave 3 of the regular colored bees and then 2 rainbow bees. It was somewhere around like $200 to $250 worth of inventory. I have it all actually documented with the numbers. I'm just kind of doing this from the top of my head. So again, real small. It was like 17 items that I gave. So we'll see. I did up my pricing a little bit because they'll take some of the percentage as part of the consignment deal. So I went up by like a couple dollars on each thing. I ran it by a couple of my family members just to like be like, is this still fine? And they were like, yes, you should probably be charging this at markets. And I was like, we'll see. So that's there. We'll see if anything happens with that. Because of that, this week has been busy kind of making slightly bigger things because I need to replenish what I gave to them, because the market, as I said, is tomorrow. Anywho, so I'm currently on my hook is a peep. I'm only making 3 for tomorrow's market because Easter is so close. So I don't want to have too many and have them left over. I don't want that. So I'm doing 3. We'll see if they sell. If they don't, this isn't something that's going to go bad for next year, but I don't want to be left with like so many of them. And then I also, in terms of replenishing, I still have plenty of regular colored bees. I think I have at like 5 at least. But I did want to make more rainbow bees because I left myself with only 1. So I did make, ooh, a little fuzz, 2 more of those guys. They whip up pretty easily. And so I'll have a total of 3 going with me tomorrow. Crayons, I knew I wasn't going to be able to do a whole set because of the other stuff I wanted to make this week, but I did do my 4 most popular colors, and I feel like it's a good start. So I have a green crayon, I have a blue crayon, and I went with a dark to light. A, because I was running out of this color, and B, because I felt the need to change it up a little. I have a pink crayon, again, dark to light. This is how I usually do the pink crayon. I don't know. Sometimes I change it. It's what I'm feeling in the moment. and then a purple crayon. So I have these 4 that were made, so that's good. Then I made some more turtles, so I only made 2. I already have 1 made, so I have 2 more that I'm adding to my inventory. I have plenty of like the tank turtles, like the littler ones, but I only have 3 of these guys, but I sell these guys for like 20, so that's fine. But if I had time, I would have made more. I also realized I usually use Parfait Chunky for these guys, or Sweet Snuggles Light, and I'm at a lower inventory for those, so I might have to switch over to the Chenille Brights, which is what I use for the tank turtles also. But we'll see. I have to assess my yarn after this market in general. And then I made this bear. Went over great. I knew I wanted to make another, at least 1 more, but I didn't know how much time I was going to have, so I went a little bit against what I normally do because color is not gendered. However, I did make a pink and blue bear. And they're baby safe. Everything's embroidered. Everything's sewed on. So I did go this route. I don't think I'm going to have time tonight with everything else I want to do to make a brown one. That was my other plan. I think I might print out the pattern and bring the brown yarn with me tomorrow to possibly make one when I'm there. But also while I'm there, I really, really, really need to figure out this situation because, spoiler, it's still not together because I was prepping for this market. So I'm like, oof, gosh. So I need to do that. I did not make another fruit cow. The one that I have is the one that I have. But tonight on the docket, I need to go through the bags of inventory I have. I currently only have 2. They're both full, but it's still 2. But this market tomorrow is smaller. It should really only be 1 table. I'm going to bring my 4-foot table also, like I did for the last one, and see if it fits in the space. If it doesn't, it's okay. But I'm going to do that. So I have to go through all of that. I have to make sure all my signage is up to date. I have to take everything down the stairs for display. I have to be there for 8:30 tomorrow. So I have to leave my house probably 7:30. Honestly, it's probably like a 40-minute drive. I'm going to get Dunkin'. But I should be able to pack everything in the morning. It is supposed to potentially rain, but I'm hoping it's just going to sprinkle. But I've loaded my car in the rain before. I mean, spring markets are famous for rain. So it's also making me happy that I chose a different spring market on the weekend that I did last year where it was just a huge rain fest and like no one came. That's in May. But we'll see. Anything that ends up going outside in the spring is always kind of a roll of the dice. But tomorrow it is inside the school. I'm in the cafeteria, which is where I was last year. I'm curious if I'm going to be in the same spot. So I didn't make it into the gym. I also signed up for this one a little bit later. I hemmed and hawed, guys. I still don't fully remember that I'm doing this one tomorrow, even though I am, and I'm prepping. But, I didn't know if I was going to go back to this one. Tomorrow is supposed to be gloomy, so I don't know how turnout's going to be in general. It's also I did not think this through at all. It's the first day of spring break for a lot of schools in Connecticut. So attendance may be affected because people may literally be going on vacation. So that's fun. It didn't happen like this last year because of where spring break fell. I don't fully remember, but yeah, so that's fun. So we'll see how attendance is going to go, but we're going to go in with positive vibes and we're just going to try, and that's all we can do. I have my money already. I saved some of the money that I had from the last market, the small bills. So I already had my cash box like stocked, which is nice. I will probably continue doing that throughout this season, just because then I don't have to like constantly be going back to the bank unless like I need something like more like ones or whatever. So that's good. Tonight for making, so I have to obviously get everything down here to pack, but I still need to make some things because I am not to the inventory numbers that I wanted to be or anywhere close. We're about $100 shy of hitting $1,500. So I think I can make close to $100 worth of inventory tonight. I'm going to finish this peep and then I have 2 more that I want to make. And I sell those for $10 each. That's 30. I want to make a cat. That's 20. So it's 50. And then, shoot. Oh, I need to make popping mushrooms. I have like no popping mushrooms and like none in no good colors. So if I can like whip out like 4 of those are $12 each. So then that's another like 50. So I'll be at that like $100 mark. It's just a matter of like if I can do it. It's currently, I can't see the clock from there. It's currently like 4 o'clock. So we have some work to do. We do. The peeps don't take me that long. Actually, the popping mushrooms also don't take me that long either. And I might put those, I forgot I wanted to do those. I might do those before the cat. Just because the cats usually take me like a little bit more time. So that will be a good like end of night project. But yeah. So what a fun check-in. I'll put in hopefully some more clips of me organizing this stuff and crocheting, because I do need to go through these bags. I'm also still debating. I'm going to be debating this until tomorrow, I'm pretty sure, of just putting out the octos and whales as keychains as opposed to doing the small, like them without them. I don't know. It's the octos that are really getting me because those are not selling as well without a keychain. I don't know. I might leave it. But the issue is I have such uneven amounts of all of them. So that's the other thing I need to lay out and see, because it's not on my plan tonight to make any more. So I don't know. I'm like trying to just figure all of it out. And it's going to help when I have everything out and I can see it. But we're just not there yet. But yeah, we will be. We will be. We love a night before a market. You know we'll be ordering food because your girl's not cooking tonight because she will just be crocheting. But anywho, I'll check in a little bit. Bye for now. And those are all the clips I took, so not that many. But I was editing this video to put up for tomorrow and realized I never did an outro. My bad. But also on brand. So, hopefully you enjoyed that kind of chaotic prepping vlog. It was definitely a lot more talking and a lot less crochet. But that's just apparently how these vlogs have kind of evolved into. So definitely let me know in the comments below if you like that. If you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. If you liked what you saw in this video, please consider subscribing and liking this video. And you can also turn on that bell notification so you can see when I post. It is a little sporadic. We're trying to get more on a schedule. Hopefully as more markets pick up, that will happen. Fingers crossed. I will say that I already have footage for the market that I was talking about in this video. So that video should be coming out soon. And I'm currently in the process of prepping for my next market, which is next week, spoiler. So I should have a lot of content coming throughout this spring season. So definitely, if you want more market content, definitely consider subscribing. If you'd like to see some more kind of behind the scenes things, you can follow me on social media. I have both a TikTok and an Instagram, and they are both at I Can Make That Butt. If you saw anything in this video that you thought was cute, then I might sell it on my website, which is www.icanmakethatbutt.com. And with that, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!